Greetings everyone, my name is Etterville, and welcome to my Let's Try of the alpha demo of Skeletal Dance Party, a voxel-based Pikmin-style strategy game in development by Catalope Games. I'll be spending at least 15 to 20 minutes on this title, checking out what it has to offer, providing my first impressions along the way. The full game is slated for release later on this year during Halloween. Let's take a look at our little Necromancer spell list. First off is Zap Bolt. Cast a bolt of magic dealing 2 magic damage. It has a pretty fast refire rate, so even without our skeleton bodies, we aren't completely defenseless. It does push us back a bit. Next up is Calcium Transformation. It will transform a target into milk, meaning that it will store not only our own Necromancer's health, but also our skeleton buddies' health. It'll also cause the target to drop all their items. Next up is our Necromancer signature ability, Raising the Dead. It'll transform a fallen corpse into a skeletal pal. And there are a whole bunch of dead squires here to test out our abilities with. We also have the ability to use telekinesis on whatever object we want by clicking and holding down the left mouse button. You play as Reva, a young fox girl necromancer whose goal is to host the biggest dance party ever for her new friends. Her new friends being reanimated skeletons harvested from the bodies of her enemies, but Reva doesn't really care about that detail. She and her newfound friends will be battling against the quote-unquote oppressive forces of the Temple of Righteous Light. This game is heavily physics-based. As you may have noticed, I can also knock back my own friends. It doesn't damage them though, thankfully. And it seems that my spells have a pretty long range. Here comes the welcoming committee. They fell pretty easily though. It seems that White Richard isn't doing that well. Oh yeah, also by clicking on objects and other enemies, I can command my buddies to destroy those objects. It seems that I can't use Calcium Transformation on living foes, only on fallen corpses. And it seems that my current max party size is limited up to 8 skeletons, but I suppose that will increase over time. It's so fun to pull down the enemies from their high positions where they're safe into my mob of skeletons, or rather my dance party of skeletons. Adding to the comedy factor of this game is that our skeleton buddies will try taking anything as a weapon. As you see over here, one of my skeleton buddies is using a trumpet as a weapon. Of course, this is level 1, so most of the enemies are really easily dealt with. They all seem to be just squires. There are no clerics, archers, mages, etc., etc. There's my answer. There's our first mage. I do love the chaotic feel about this game. We can see that me, my allies, and my enemies are all flailing around the place, and it really adds to the comedic/party feel of this entire experience. These foes that we're downing, they're all from the Temple of Righteous Light. In a more serious game, what we're doing would be rather horrifying. We would effectively be playing a psychopathic necromancer, whose idea of friendship is killing people and reviving them from the dead. Oh yeah, we can also see what equipment our skeletons each have. We can't command them to drop weapons though, unfortunately. We lost our trumpet player. And if somehow one of our skeletons gets separated from the group, we can pull them back in easily using our telekinesis. Come on, team, get up over here. Well, it seems that I don't want to smash the shelf. Fine with me, then. If there's another suggestion about this game, it's that I wish there was a minimap so I don't get lost around this place. Oh, there's something else. A brute. I was gonna say a knight over there. Oh, and that was level 1. That was a rather abrupt ending. But that was just only level 1, so let's see how level 2 compares in terms of difficulty and complexity. We start about the same way, but the pathway isn't to the right, it's to the left. Why are there so many dead squires here, though? One more shall do, then I'll push on forwards. Alright, let's go. It seems that those squires are dancing as well. Is there a competing dance party going on nearby? I'm just aiming at the general direction of the enemies and hoping that my magical bolts hit. I also like how the weakened skeletons are smart enough to go for the milk cartons. One of my skeleton buddies casted a protective shield on me. Why, thank you, whoever you are. I have a suggestion for the final game. If I click on one of the skeleton heads, it should show me the profile of that particular skeleton. Come on, team, where are you? What's going on over there? That's not good. Please stop dancing in the shelf over there. The perils of playing a heavily physics-based game. A heavily AI plus physics-based game, where the AI, especially for our skeleton bodies, isn't the brightest. But I guess it adds to the charm, though. That was the end of level 2, I guess that was the boss fight. I wanted to see what would happen if I turned him into a skeleton as well. When I get a bigger skeleton? Let's check out level 3. That's something else I'd like to find out later in this demo or in the final game. Does converting larger foes into skeletons produce bigger skeletons? Because as it stands right now, no matter what enemy corpse we reanimate into a skeleton, it'll have the same base model, or base skeleton, with the same base stats and whatnot. The only differences are based on the equipment they currently have wearing. And I know in the final game we'll have different monsters to face, not just humans and humanoid enemies. Can we actually smack and deal damage to enemies using tables and whatnot? That'd be fun, using physics interactions to our advantage. No enemy clerics yet, only enemy mages. I can see a whole bunch of strategy of pulling out enemy clerics in the final game. That way you can more easily take out groups of enemies. I'm somehow stuck in the ground now. The random glitches that can happen in alpha demos, especially with heavily physics-based games. Let's see if I can push myself out. Nope, I'm under the stairs there. Still stuck. Let's see how far I can go while stuck in the floor. The game could use some audio balancing as well, like turn down the volume for the sound effect for using the zap bolt, as it overpowers all the other sound effects. Well, I guess this is the end of the line for Reva. There's no way I'm getting out of this unless I die somehow. Let's see what happens if I die. The party is ended, with Reva's demise, unless she can self-revive or have soul cage. But this is a good time to end off this Let's Try. So here are my overall thoughts on the alpha demo. I gotta say, I love the casual, easygoing, party-like atmosphere of this game, The voxel graphics combined with the crazy physics and crazy AI combine to make a pretty fun experience. I'd love to see how it's taken further because as it stands right now, the levels are pretty easy. Then again, this may be more of a casual-like game, more for the fun times, but I'd like to see some more challenge. I'd also like to see if there are different classes of skeletons that you can get by defeating different types of foes. And I'd like to see if the max party size can be increased as well, going from a max of 8 to something like 20 or 30. Or perhaps giving that capability to the players themselves. That'd be neat. I'd also like a whole slew of quality of life improvements, like being able to command the skeletons to drop certain pieces of equipment, as well as swapping to a different skeleton profile by clicking on their heads, instead of having to click on the skeleton themselves on the world. But overall, I enjoyed this experience, and I'd love to play the final game when it's released in Halloween. This is definitely a great follow-up from the viral predecessor Skeleton Dance Simulator. So I wish the best of luck to the developers. Well then, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Toodles!